What's going on, everyone? Chris back again, and this time it's another list. This time we're talking about the one and only John Cena. And with Summerslam now being concluded and his 17th and most likely final title reign concluded, I wanted to go back. And with his retirement coming up this year, I want to talk about, for me, my personal favorite top 5 John Cena WWE title matches. Obviously, since this is my own personal pick, my opinions may vary from everybody else, but these were the 5 title matches that really stood out to me that I really enjoyed the most. And just as a small spoiler, he did not win every single one of these matches. But in terms of match quality, I thought these were his best. So let's get right to the countdown. At number 5, we're going back to 2007. And we're going to Wrestlemania 23 and his first encounter against the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. This was an outstanding match, still relatively early-ish in Cena's career, as he was still fighting off the accusations of "you can't wrestle." With this match, obviously, Shawn Michaels did definitely carry a lot of it. It started out with Shawn really taking a strong early advantage, beating Cena to the punch a lot, out-wrestling him with chain wrestling, and working on his knee through part of the match. But Cena was able to come back with a lot of power moves like strong clotheslines. He was able to overpower Michaels in some key spots. But there were definitely some memorable moments like the enziguri on the outside that led to the springboard moonsault. And overall, as a match for Cena, with it being one of his best matches, it used him in the right role as the powerhouse. Not so much as an underdog fighting from underneath, but taking advantage of his superior size and strength. And it's going to be a common theme you're going to see in a lot of these matches. One of the key spots that stands out to me is Shawn Michaels giving John Cena a pile driver on the steps. And while they both hit their key maneuvers, John Cena was able to catch Shawn Michaels into the STFU, and he won the match via submission. And that was a huge victory for him, and it helped solidify him as a star and the main guy that the company was building everything around. So that's number 5, and I would love to hear what people's memories are of this match, because I think it's an underrated WrestleMania main event. At number 4, we're going to 2014. And yes, we're talking about the same pay-per-view event that just happened just last week. We're talking about SummerSlam, and you probably know where this is going. It is when John Cena was given a one-way trip to Suplex City, and he was squashed by Brock Lesnar. Not much that I can really say about this match. I do have a more in-depth recap of it in my match analysis series. I will leave a link to that in my in the comments below. But all you need to know is this was the most one-sided squash match ever, really, in John Cena's career. And he really only got a couple of offensive moves in the entire match, one being an FU and a desperation attempt at an STFU. But really, it was suplex repeat, suplex repeat, suplex repeat, F5, 1, 2, 3, and Lesnar was the new undisputed champion. Leave me your comments and let me know your memory of this match, because it definitely wasn't a match formula that I expected, especially with Cena being at the peak of his Super Cena run. and I did not expect Lesnar to win the title in such dominant fashion. Number 3, we go to 2017, and we go to the Royal Rumble. And yes, for John Cena, this was a win, and this was Sweet 16 for John, because this was the 16th time he became a WWE champion. And this was his match versus AJ Styles. These two were having the third match in their trilogy, and it might be the best one in a lot of people's opinions. Of course, in this match, it starts actually with AJ getting the better of Cena, using his speed and agility, and much like Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 23, was beating him to the punch and hitting him with a lot of counters. Both of them are able to hit a lot of their trademark moves. And of course, we had the finisher sequences going on. There was one particular spot that stands out to me where John Cena he is able to get the STFU on AJ. AJ actually, I think, had the calf crusher on John Cena first, and then it was reversed to the STFU, or it might have been vice versa. But then from there, John Cena was able to get his own reversal and did a figure 4 leg lock on AJ, which is something you rarely ever saw him do. And Cena, for his credit, being in the ring with AJ, really stepped up his game. He did some things that weren't common of his repertoire at that time. To me, outside of the match with Cody Rhodes, it was the last great title match of his career, where there weren't any special stipulations or any gimmicks, like weapons or false count anywhere to help enhance the match. And these two just really went all out against each other. AJ did hit the phenomenal forearm, and of course Cena was able to hit a super attitude adjustment off the second rope, which AJ kicked out of. But then finally, Cena was able to counter the phenomenal forearm, hit 2 FUs in a row, got the pin on AJ, and when he won the match, one great visual was when John Cena was being handed the belt and getting up after the match. AJ, still flat on his back, was reaching his hands up, trying to get a hold of the belt that he had just lost, still trying to cling on to his title reign that was now over. And again, it was the 16th world title reign for John, and it was definitely one of the last great moments of his career. And AJ has talked about it. One of the things that made this match so great also is these two did not go outside of the ring once. They stayed in the ring the entire match, which I think is something that needs to be commended. So that's number 3. At number 2, we're going to 2011, and we're going to Money in the Bank. And yes, it is the 5-star match, as rated by Dave Meltzer, between John Cena and CM Punk, who was in his hometown of Chicago and was definitely the crowd favorite. Again, this had the backstory behind it, with the pipe bomb having just recently happened, where Punk said when he leaves, his contract is up and he's leaving with the WWE title. This match got off to a slower start with some chain wrestling, and Punk was able to get the shine early, fighting as the babyface, even though he was a heel. And of course, it had a lot of the key spots where they were able, both guys hit their key maneuvers. You see, obviously, Punk hitting the running knee and the bulldog. John Cena, of course, hits his trademark clotheslines, the flying shoulder tackles, etc. And of course, we have the finisher sequences, where John Cena does hit the FU that Punk kicks out of. And of course, Punk is able to fight off the STFU at one point. And in the key moment of the match, Punk does hit Cena with the GTS, but Cena actually falls out of the ring. And then out come Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis. Once Punk sends Cena back into the ring, Punk is distracted by those two in the aisle. So when he comes back in, he gets caught off guard by another STFU attempt by Cena to win by submission. At this time, Vince, adding to the drama of it, tells Laurinaitis to go tell the timekeeper to ring the bell, which makes Cena let go of the STFU, and then he knocks out Laurinaitis to stop another Montreal screwjob from happening. Cena then tells Vince, I'm going to win this the right way. But when he gets back in the ring, he gets met with another GTS and is pinned. This had an incredible crowd reaction, and it was definitely the outcome I think people wanted to see. One, because it was CM Punk in his hometown, and two, because we wanted to see where this storyline was going to lead if Punk was really going to leave with the belt. Vince was able to get in on the aftermath by getting on the headset and telling him to cut the music and to get Del Rio out there since he was the Money in the Bank contract holder for the WWE title. Del Rio runs out, but Punk is able to discard him. And then Punk takes the belt, he blows Vince a kiss, and he runs out through the crowd and through his adoring fans. This was a great moment because it, like I said, it added intrigue to the storyline with Punk, and it was a great way to end the pay-per-view. And even though the final moments of the pay-per-view didn't focus on Cena at all, again, this is another loss on the list, it still is one of my favorite pay-per-view endings and one of my favorite pay-per-views of all time. So that leads us to number 1. And for me personally, number 1 takes us back to 2006 and WrestleMania 22, and it still keeps us in Chicago. And yes, this is the first WrestleMania match between John Cena and the self-proclaimed King of Kings, Triple H. This, of course, was at the height of the Cena backlash of the "You Can't Wrestle" chants, and people really wanted to see Cena drop the title. This obviously, the psychology of the match was very interesting because a lot of the fans were chanting for Triple H on this night, and Triple H was embracing their cheers a lot of the time. I'm not going to get, like I said, into the full details of the match. I do have a match analysis of this as well, and I'm going to leave the link to that down below also. So if you want to hear a more in-depth recap of it, you can watch my match analysis on it. But the key moments definitely for this match are obviously the crowd making the match. There are some excellent moments in the match where visually you can see the crowd all in unison really getting behind Triple H with the boo yeah spot when they're trading right hands. And of course that famous photo when John Cena is doing the 5-knuckle shuffle and the camera pans out to show the entire crowd. Triple H, even after hitting Cena with the sledgehammer, is not able to put him away. And after that, Cena is able to catch Triple H off guard into the STFU. And Triple H, after fighting it off, isn't able to make the ropes. And much like his best friend Shawn Michaels, this time a year previous to Shawn Michaels, he taps out in the WrestleMania main event to John Cena. So basically in back-to-back years, John Cena was able to successfully retain the WWE title over the founding fathers of DX. Like I said, this is a match where the crowd really enhanced the match, and I think, for me, made it 5 stars and one of my favorite WrestleMania main events ever. And it was the start of what we didn't realize would be the start of the reunion of DX, and it was the start of the Triple H face turn as well. That would play itself out over the months to come. So that's my top 5 John Cena title matches of all time. Let me know what you think of this list, and let me know if you would change the order of these matches in any way. Let me know your memories of any of these matches, and let me know what your top 5 matches are, or just favorite matches of John Cena's career are when he was the WWE Champion. And let me know who you'd like to see Cena work with in his final months as an active member of the WWE roster, besides Brock Lesnar, who just recently returned, and it looks like they're going to reignite their feud. So leave your comments down below. Give me your thoughts on Cena overall. Is he one of your favorites? Does he belong on Mount Rushmore? And I'll be back again soon with another episode of What Could Have Been in Wrestling. And also, maybe even with some more lists of my favorite matches of all time, of some of my favorite wrestlers of all time. So thanks everyone for the support. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And take care, everyone.